Well, joining us on the broadcast is Ashwini Dubey, who's a lawyer and also an advocate at the Supreme Court of India. We also have Abhinandita Dayal Mathur, who's the spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, with us on the broadcast. Abhinandita, I'm coming to you first. Various allegations have been made by the BJP. The Supreme Court has also seized of a petition which seeks to deregister the political parties which are in the business of, distributing the freebies. What constitutes a freebie has never been legally defined. However, there's a terse war of words between you and the BJP. What would you like to say to your political opponent?
Thanks, Anusha. To begin with, I must put out some facts or put out a scenario or two scenarios in front of our viewers for them to, make up their mind. Now, the BJP government some time ago reduced the tax rates for corporates. I'm just trying to juxtapose two scenarios here. Now, there's about 1.8 lakh crores that have come as losses in the last two financial years, and for the third year, for this year, the report is still pending, but it's estimated that another 1 lakh crore would be running in losses. Other than this, there is an estimated loss to the exchequers for waiving of about 10 lakh crores of 10 lakh crores of debt to corporates who are allegedly Mr. Modi's close aides and so on. Basically, the rationale that the central government had given for this is that we are reducing now. Like, these are the two scenarios. In one scenario, that I have listed out how much losses have been caused, and the rationale that was given for this is that this will actually encourage to improve business environment, that it generate employment, that it will in turn actually help the country financially and help the common people. This is the rationale that was given. The reality is that today unemployment is on the rise. We have had to put GST on basic commodities, on milk and curd and honey.
Allow me to interject you. You've made certain points about how there is fiscal management of the country which is happening. There are debts being written off by the public banks, which according to the Aam Aadmi Party is not a smart financial move to make while you're imposing duties like GST and tax on various articles. That's a different argument that GST and tax is also something of which the beneficiaries are the state government as well. And when the decisions were taken, the states were also on board, but now there is heavy politics happening on that matter. The question that BJP is raising on the Aam Aadmi Party is very simple, and I'll also try and get a BJP spokesperson to answer the questions that you've raised. The question that BJP is asking is that there are various schemes that the Aam Aadmi Party had announced, including a scheme in which you announced to give certain benefits to students. While that scheme may be of about 20-40 lakh loans given to some students, you spent around 20 crores on the advertisements itself. And this is not the idea of a welfare state that has been enshrined in our constitution. Are you spending more on the advertisements than on the actual schemes itself? Can you answer that question?
Yes, surely. Absolutely. It is absolutely untrue that we're spending more on advertising than policies. Let me just quickly finish the point that I was trying to make earlier. I've already listed already put out one scenario in front of you. The other is that, the Aam Aadmi Party is proposing to give more amenities to the public, to give certain units of free electricity, but basically give some relief to the to the common man vis-a-vis giving relief to corporations. This is the scenario. These are the two scenarios that I wanted to put across your audience. Coming back to your question, there is absolutely no truth to the fact that we are doing more advertising than policies, than actually spending on policies.
Because the BJP has put out certain RTIs today in a press conference. You're saying those RTIs are not true?
You have to, there's something that, honestly, this particular department is not my domain, but let me explicitly say that for any scheme to be successful,
yes,
and if for any reason the number of beneficiaries or number of applicants are not good enough, then it is obvious that you would actually spend on publicity of that scheme.
Let me take that question. Let me take that question to Amit Malviya of the BJP as well. Mr. Malviya, thank you so much for speaking to us. I am not getting a direct answer from the Aam Aadmi Party as far as the question of spending more on advertisement is concerned. But that RTI that was put out in the press conference today, can you tell us more about that?
Well, there are several schemes, including the one which claims to be offering scholarships to students for higher education. The number of applicants this year were 89, and only 2 of them got the requisite sum of money. But the Aam Aadmi Party ended up spending 19 crores to promote that scheme. And this is not an exception. We've seen similarly when the environmental issue was being discussed, Arvind Kejriwal said that he's got this product which if you spray, everything will be fine and you don't need to burn stubble anymore. The product was 60 lakh rupees. An advertisement on that product was worth 23 crore rupees. Now, why does the Aam Aadmi Party spend so much of money on advertisement across media, across networks, across print publications? Because they want Arvind Kejriwal's face to be plastered all over the media. The delivery is zero. Kejriwal came out yesterday evening and he lied on several issues, including this morning when he said that the central government's tax collection has dropped because of the corporate tax being brought down. When the truth is to the contrary, in the last 2 years, 1.55 lakh crore rupees have increased, which is 28% jump. Now, Arvind Kejriwal can lie all he wants. He lied on the pay commission issue. He lied on the issue of free ration. He lied on the issue of free education, free healthcare, which is all that is being done by India, the welfare state, ever since independence. So Arvind Kejriwal's only and only motive is to remain in media, to lie and perhaps confuse people and use the taxpayers' money to have his face plastered all over the media.
Okay. Ashwini ji, please stay with us on the broadcast. You want to quickly respond, Abhinanda, to what Mr. Amit Malviya is saying?
Yes, surely. I mean, what is sometimes very almost amusing about the BJP is that when they make such allegations on an honest small party like ours, and in contrast with what they have been doing, it's a bit funny because there is no way that the people of India, especially people of Delhi who have benefited from our governance, are going to take their word seriously. Now, this is a government that has been obviously waiving off loans to their corporate friends. This is a government that have been, doing one Jumla and after another. This is a government that's also trying to stall Arvind Kejriwal ji, his rise. And this is also a government that is actually is not, accountable for
Abhinanda, it's only in the larger public interest that I ask this question. I live in Delhi and I've benefited, say, from the lower electricity rates in Delhi or the water supply bills that are often written off for middle class or people, who benefit from these schemes of the government. However, the question that an ordinary person who pays taxes and wants to know from the government is that do you have a sanctioned limit, the amount that you spend on a budget? Can your advertisement budget actually increase 10 times of your actual budget of the scheme itself?
Well, one is that, there's one thing that we must understand, and this is for the layperson or for the common man to understand that, to simply say this, let's say the government has a certain amount of budget and the liability is actually, or the accountability is about what they're spending it on. Are they spending it on welfare? Are they spending on the needy? Are they spending it on the common public? Vis-a-vis, if they're spending it on benefit of a few corporations. So that is the key difference. As you said that, you live in Delhi and you have benefited from certain schemes. If you go on the street today and you ask anybody in Delhi if they can recall, 5 schemes that they have benefited from the Delhi government, they will be